Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Going With The Ganongs. If you're new around here, we are a family of 4 who have moved off grid, and we are slowly but surely building our own cabin, homestead, and everything around here with our own hands. It's been just over 3 years since we bought this land, and just to sit back and see the progress we've made is absolutely amazing. For some people it might seem slow. For us, some days it feels slow, sometimes it feels like we've done so much. This spring has just been really different around here for us, between different family things going on that have kept us occupied and away from the land, to rainy Saturdays for 6 weekends in a row. And when I say rain, I mean 20 plus millimeters of rain. Now we're mid-June and it's finally a good Saturday. Although it's a little cloudy, it's not wet, and we're able to get out here and get some stuff done. Now, we definitely want to get a lot done on the cabin this summer. I will soon be off work for the summer. I'll get about 8 weeks. We're going to camp for a little bit, go to visit family for a little bit, but other than that, we're going to be around here and we're going to be trying to get as much as we can done. We have huge lists of projects, both inside and outside, both on the cabin and just around the land, and we're just going to try to start knocking things out so that we can get closer and closer to having this cabin finished and moving on to the next one. Because yes, there's going to be a bigger cabin down the road. Today, what we're doing is just cleaning up back here. My workshop is directly behind the camera. The cabin is even further that way. I'm just going to try to clean up behind me here. There's this tree we took down. That was our Christmas tree this year, and the brush is still just laying there. We're going to clean some of that up. I'm going to cut off the larger end of this tree, hopefully at a good length, to mill up with the chainsaw mill and maybe finish off that side of the woodshed. All right, let's do some work. Slowly but surely, the plan around here is to get rid of all these saplings that grow up over the years. I think this was the central base for when they were logging here. So ideally, we'd have, a tractor or bulldozer or something like that come and push all this stuff out, uproot it all, and the rest of this section all back here, back until we hit the actual kind of tree line, would be open.
All ready for when he needs to. Like peeling off like birch bark. Doesn't peel off easy.
Depends on how wet the balsam.
Oh, I could. There you go. Harder. Easy. Is it raining? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna make a volcano with this stuff.
Well, I just finished doing the first couple boards out of this balsam tree. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can even tell in camera right now, but back here, there's a little bit of rot in the middle. Kind of what happens to balsam sometimes, but that is totally fine for the woodshed. You know, it's just the sides of the woodshed. We have an unlimited amount, so over the years, we'll have to pull them off. That's why I'm putting them on with screws, put a new one on, and that'll be that. Now that I've made a whole new pile of sawdust, though, the boys have something important to do over here. We better get out of the way. Alright, there we go. This side of the woodshed, I'd say, is pretty well done. What I'm going to do on that top section is use some of the scraps I've cut on other boards, and I have a little bit left, and do vertical sections to cover this side part, just because that'll be a lot easier than trying to cut things on an angle lengthwise. Just cut them on an angle on the cross cut. There'll be a lot easier cuts. Flat on the bottom, one on the top. It's looking good though. This is going to make a big difference for our woodshed this winter. Excited to see the difference as the winter hits. I must say the dead balsam and the dead cedar seem to cut almost easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but it definitely looks nicer right after it's cut than that balsam that was freshly cut and then froze through the winter, so it's still pretty wet in there. It'll definitely dry and crack really bad, probably, but that's alright. It's just the woodshed sides. That pile behind me was all of the dead stuff that was standing where the shed is. And I cut that out last spring, and the priority was getting that shed built. And then last summer, it just got overlooked. So we have huge piles of mostly rotten wood that just through the summer, whenever we have fires, we're just gonna throw this on and get rid of as much of it as we can. Now, living where we do with the forest we have, we're not gonna be able to manage every single piece of dead wood. But cleaning up this pile and getting it out of here will definitely make just this area behind the cabin feel a little more like home, like a yard, and that's exactly what we're going for. Although there's an incessant amount of things to do to clean up around here, it feels good to be making little bits of progress on just the cleanup in the areas that we actually live in.
When you start making a plan to how we're going to put water in it. Go spin it.
Yeah.
What?
I think a forklift could lift it pretty easy.
That just happened on my...
Thanks.
Oh,
I'm using this one. Yeah, that one's still good though, so I'm gonna use it for something else.
can we use it?
Ready?
The bugs are going on in my nose. You want to see me actually? What?
Work, Luca?
Yeah. Can I?
There.
Holy, you have to literally dig that. I need love. Oh, that's a still piece of dope. What?
I thought your shovel was closer than it was.
That hole's almost filled in.
Packed down. Oh. Is that right? Creepy, Eli?
No. Mushrooms to eat. Enormous rock. Don't make it almost. See, is this good enough, Dada? That's a more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Wait.
just probably right now just gonna do this. Do this.
No.
No? You can. If what we're working on works out for this summer, it's gonna make the summer a lot more bearable around here, off grid, in this cabin. Let us know down below. What do you think we're doing? Kind of kick it where we want it. Oh, do that, you mean? Oh, you can do that the whole thing now, yeah. All right, ready for another load. Fill that hole in. Oh, much better. We'll dump this one here. Just. Oh.
Rock. I think this.
Let's start kicking this way. Because.
Or something.
Can I what?
Caught a water truck.
Oh.
Apple. Cool.
Yes, there.
We're gonna have the pool. We're gonna have the pool.
Just grab over there. Walk right up. Over close to the box. Ground. That's. Oh, you passed it. Put it there and hold it. Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Whoa.
Oh, there's no top. All right.
Right?
Yeah. Alright, do that. We're missing one bottom, but that's not bad. To go in our pins. I'm gonna need some pins soon.
Found some pins. The pool is going to be set at the top. Yes, actually and back of the set.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to
For weeding up the set.
Alright, everybody, if you guessed that we were prepping a spot for a pool, you guessed right. Now, it is obviously a little bit of a different idea to do an off-grid pool. I haven't seen many off-grid YouTubers doing pools, but the thing about this is that it gets pretty hot here in the summer. We don't have AC in the cabin, and we don't plan on putting any in. The airflow is actually really nice, and even with a fan through last summer when we were having, heat waves, we slept with a fan on in the night, and it was actually pretty comfortable still. The pool will give us a really good way to cool down through the day whenever we want, whenever we need. The big problems we have are that we need to have it filled with water, so we're going to have a truck come and fill it, which isn't actually too expensive because this pool is not very big. And then the other part would be running our pumps. But thankfully, with a little bit of solar and the power stations we have, we're going to be able to run this pump enough that it'll keep the pool clean through the summer. We also plan on sticking around a lot more this summer. Last year we were away for so much that it wouldn't have even made sense. We'll get back to other projects. We'll get back to making the cabin behind this look a little more finished and actually just finishing it off inside. I am almost on my summer break and we just have lists of projects that need to get done. We're still working on firewood. We're still working on that extension. That is one of the top priorities, to get to a different place so that we can move the door while it's nice and warm. There's a lot of things to do, but this pool, once it's filled with water, is going to keep us cool and ready to keep working through those hot summer days.
Jump from there. Hey, Dada, could I take this some of this?
Well, everybody, I'd say that's a pretty full day for us today. Things have been a little slow around here recently in the last few weeks. Unfortunately, I lost the last of actually, my grandparents in the last week. So the last few weeks have been just different and slow around here for sure. We are excited for summer to start though, for me to be able to have the extra spare time, for us to be able to knock out some good projects, including some work on the extension, hopefully inside the cabin, the interior, and the exterior as well, filling the woodshed the rest of the way. There's just so much to do before next winter hits, and there's so many things to choose from, and we're just going to have to choose and prioritize. But right now, over the last few weeks, just a little bit of cleanup we've done around here really is making this place feel a little less like a construction zone and like we just live in a little tiny bit of the forest, and really making it feel more and more like a yard and like our home. A little bit of cedar branches I just cleaned up out front, and all this wood I cut a few days ago. Some of it's stacked here, some of it's still over here. It's just crazy to see how much better these areas are looking with the cleanup we've been doing through the spring. So again, I promise we're going to get to some bigger, better projects beyond just firewood and cleanup now that summer is upon us. And we've just had a bit of a crazy, different spring, both with weather and family. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.